Imagine this, gentlemen. You've just finished your first round, your heart is still racing, your partner is right there, and suddenly, it's like a switch flips. The passion is there, the desire is there, but your body refuses to respond. No matter how much you want it, your erection just won't come back. You lie there frustrated, embarrassed, wondering what happened to the man who used to go 2, even 3 rounds in a night. That moment doesn't make you weak. It means your body is speaking a language no one ever taught you to understand. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men restore their performance, confidence, and vitality. I've seen men in their 60s and 70s who thought their best years were behind them learn to recover faster, last longer, and enjoy intimacy again, with energy they thought was gone forever. Here's the truth most men never hear. Your problem isn't that you can't get hard again. It's that your body is following an outdated recovery pattern. There's a biological lock called the refractory period that lengthens with age. But here's the paradox. It can be retrained. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to reset your body's recovery system, shorten your downtime between rounds, and bring back the stamina and strength that once defined you. No gimmicks, no false promises, just proven, science-backed methods that work. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal a simple daily technique that can restore your firmness, boost your confidence, and help you perform like you did decades ago. It starts tonight. Before we get started, take a quick moment to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss another men's health lesson designed to help you perform, feel, and live stronger. And if this topic speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me what you'd like me to cover next time. Your feedback helps me help you better. All right, let's get straight into it. To fix a problem, you first have to understand what's really going on inside your body. So before we talk about techniques or habits, let's uncover the science behind why your erection disappears after the first round, and why it takes longer to come back as you age. 1. Understanding why your body shuts down. After round 1. Let's be honest, gentlemen, nothing feels more frustrating than being ready in your mind, but your body simply refusing to cooperate. You finish the first round, you still feel that spark, the desire, the closeness, but as you reach for your partner again, your body quietly says, "No, not yet." You wait a few minutes, hoping it'll return, but it doesn't. And that's when the doubt creeps in. You start thinking, is this the end of my stamina? Am I losing my strength as a man? I've heard those same questions whispered in my clinic by hundreds of men over the years, and I can tell you this with complete honesty. It's not weakness, and it's not your fault. It's simply biology doing what it was designed to do. After orgasm, your body goes through a chemical storm. In those moments of satisfaction, your brain releases a surge of a hormone called prolactin. It's the body's way of saying, mission accomplished. Prolactin tells your system to relax, to rest, to stop sending those strong signals that create an erection. Meanwhile, another key player, dopamine, the chemical of excitement, motivation, and desire, takes a nosedive. When dopamine levels fall, the brain's sexual on switch turns off, and as prolactin rises, testosterone levels momentarily dip. That's a triple hit to your performance system. Your drive lowers, your energy slows, and the erection pathway temporarily shuts down. For younger men, this recovery period, what doctors call the refractory phase, can last just minutes. Their hormone levels rebound quickly, their blood vessels stay wide open, and their tissues are still flooded with oxygen and nitric oxide. But as we age, that entire system becomes slower and less efficient. Blood flow decreases, testosterone drops naturally, and the nervous system takes longer to reset. What used to be a few minutes in your 20s can stretch to an hour or even more after 60. It's not that your desire is gone. It's that your body's chemistry needs more time to find balance again. When my patients hear this, many of them feel a sense of relief. Understanding that this is a normal biological process, not a sign of failure, changes everything. It means you can stop fighting your body and start working with it. Because here's the hopeful truth. While you can't erase biology, you can absolutely train it. You can send signals that speed recovery, improve circulation, and restore the same readiness you once had. I've seen men in their late 70s experience stronger, quicker erections simply by learning how to recondition the body's natural rhythm. And that's exactly what we'll uncover next, how the way you handle that first round can make or break your ability to perform again. In fact, the key to a powerful second round doesn't start after the climax at all. It begins during the first one. Let me explain why most men approach it the wrong way, and what to do instead. 2. Mistake number 1. Chasing round 2 instead of controlling round 1. I've seen this play out countless times in my clinic. A man finishes his first round, feels satisfied, but still has that flicker of desire burning inside, and he immediately starts trying to go again. He touches himself. He forces stimulation. He worries. He hopes. He waits. And the longer it takes, the more anxious he becomes. What starts as desire quickly turns into frustration. And that's exactly when everything stops working. I know because I've watched the same frustration eat away at the confidence of so many good men. Men who simply didn't realize they were approaching their bodies the wrong way. The truth is, if you want to enjoy a strong second round, the secret doesn't come after you finish. It begins before you finish. The biggest mistake older men make is rushing the first climax instead of mastering it. When you push through too quickly, your body experiences a massive hormonal crash. It's like slamming on the brakes after flooring the gas pedal. All that energy floods out at once, leaving you drained and unresponsive. But when you learn to slow down, to feel every sensation instead of racing to the end, your body holds on to that energy, that blood flow, that oxygen. It keeps you in the zone where control is possible. There's a technique I teach called perineal control. The perineum is that small space between your scrotum and anus. Underneath it lies a powerful muscle group that acts like a switch between arousal and ejaculation. When you feel yourself getting close to that point of no return, take a slow breath and press gently but firmly on that spot. What happens next can be remarkable. Many men experience what's known as a dry orgasm, where the pleasure is still intense, but no semen is released. Your erection stays strong, your energy stays high, and most importantly, your body doesn't crash into that deep refractory phase that usually shuts everything down. It takes patience to master. The first few times, you might lose control too soon, and that's okay. What matters is learning to be aware of your body again, to listen, to feel, to time your breathing with your excitement. Over time, you'll start noticing how much more control you have not just over your erection, but over your pleasure and connection with your partner. Instead of feeling like sex happens to you, you'll feel like you're guiding it. That sense of control, of confidence, changes everything. Now here's something most men don't realize. Even if you master this physical control, your habits outside the bedroom can quietly destroy all your progress. The food you eat, the drinks you choose, even that cigarette before bed. All of it directly affects your body's ability to recover and perform. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Because what you put into your body could be the difference between another strong round and another disappointment. 3. Mistake number 2. Eating, drinking, and smoking before sex. I can't tell you how many times I've had a man sit across from me, sigh, and say, "Doc, I don't understand. I want to perform, but every time I try, I just can't keep it going for a second round." And almost every time, my first question isn't about hormones or medication, it's about what he ate and drank that night. Because here's a truth very few men realize. Your sexual performance doesn't begin in the bedroom. It starts hours earlier with what you put into your body. Think about how you feel after a heavy steak dinner with mashed potatoes, dessert, and a couple of glasses of wine. Your stomach feels full, your body feels heavy, and your energy starts to fade. That's not just digestion, it's redirection. When you eat a large meal, your blood rushes toward your gut to break down food, not to your reproductive organs. So when you later need strong blood flow for an erection, there's simply not enough available to support it. And if you pair that with alcohol, the problem gets worse. Alcohol relaxes your blood vessels at first, but then it causes them to constrict. It also lowers testosterone levels and dulls your nervous system. the exact opposite of what your body needs to stay alert and responsive. Then there's smoking. I've treated men who spent decades believing that one cigarette before sex helped them relax. But the reality is that every puff narrows blood vessels and damages the delicate endothelial lining inside them. Over time, that means less oxygen, less blood flow, and weaker erections. The good news is, once you stop, your circulation can start improving within weeks. I've watched it happen. Men in their 60s who quit and saw their nighttime erections return stronger than they'd been in years. If you want your body to perform like it used to, you have to treat it like an athlete's. Plan your meals strategically. Eat lighter on nights you expect intimacy, grilled fish, vegetables, and a bit of healthy fat like olive oil. Skip alcohol until after, and if you smoke, make tonight the first night you decide to stop. Every positive choice sends your body a signal that you're prioritizing blood flow, oxygen, and vitality. You'd be amazed how many of my patients rediscovered their stamina not through medication, but by simply freeing up their circulation. Their energy returned, their mood improved, and suddenly, that second round didn't feel impossible anymore. It felt natural again. But even if your habits are clean, there's another hidden factor that can hold you back: oxygen. After climax, your tissues need oxygen-rich blood to recharge, yet most men forget to use the simplest recovery tool nature ever gave them, their own breath. And that's exactly what we'll explore next, because once you understand how breathing and oxygen control affect recovery, you'll realize how easily you can bring strength back between rounds. 4. Mistake number 3. Ignoring circulation and oxygen. I've treated thousands of men, and one thing I've learned is that most don't realize how much oxygen determines their sexual performance. After that first climax, your body doesn't just rest, it begins to rebuild. Every muscle fiber, every nerve ending, every cell involved in erection depends on one thing: a steady stream of oxygen-rich blood. Without it, recovery slows, energy fades, and that second round feels like it's locked behind a wall you can't climb. I often tell my patients, your erection isn't powered by desire alone, it's powered by circulation. And circulation starts with your breath. When you breathe deeply and steadily, you feed your blood with oxygen, your arteries widen, and your body shifts into a state of calm control. But when you breathe shallowly, especially after sex, your body stays tense. Your blood vessels constrict, your heart rate spikes, and the smooth muscle tissues in your penis don't get the oxygen they need to recover. The result? You stay soft longer, and your refractory period stretches out. It's not age, it's oxygen. I remember one patient in his late 60s, a proud, healthy man who had been struggling to perform a second time with his wife. He was frustrated, convinced something was wrong. We ran every test. His hormones were fine, his heart was strong. But when I asked him to demonstrate how he breathed during and after intimacy, I noticed something instantly. He was holding his breath without realizing it. I taught him a simple breathing technique: in through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, out through the mouth for 6. Within 2 weeks, he came back smiling. "Doc," he said, "I didn't change anything else. I just breathed differently, and suddenly I could go again." That's the power of oxygen. It calms the nervous system, replenishes energy, and keeps the body in a responsive state instead of a depleted one. Combine that with hydration, because remember, blood is mostly water, and you're giving your erection the tools it needs to recover faster. Even mild dehydration can make your blood thicker and harder to circulate. So drink water throughout the day, especially before and after intimacy. Another tool that helps many men is gentle testicular massage. It improves local circulation, stimulates hormone recovery, and signals your body that it's time to recharge. Think of it like stretching after a workout. It's a way to help your system reset faster and more efficiently. I know it sounds simple, almost too simple, but sometimes the smallest habits create the biggest results. Oxygen, hydration, and relaxation can do what even medication can't if your circulation is weak. And speaking of weak circulation, there's one more area where most men unknowingly sabotage themselves: the foundation of health itself. Because if your body is out of shape, your blood vessels clogged, or your sleep too short, No breathing exercise will save your performance, and that's exactly what we need to talk about next. 5. Mistake number 4. Neglecting the foundation: fitness, weight, and sleep. I can always tell, just by the way a man walks into my office, whether his body is working with him or against him. Some men carry a quiet strength in their posture, their breathing steady, their energy grounded. Others move slower, shoulders heavy, as if their bodies are fighting gravity itself. And when they talk about struggling to get hard again after the first round, it's not hard to see why. The body simply isn't supporting the engine of performance anymore. You see, your penis isn't an isolated organ. It's a mirror of your entire cardiovascular and hormonal health. When the body weakens, the first place it shows is often between your legs. Let's talk about fitness first. I'm not asking you to spend hours in the gym or run marathons, but your heart and your penis share the same blood vessels. And if you don't keep those vessels flexible and strong, neither one will perform when you need it. Regular movement, simple, consistent movement, is one of the best ways to rebuild that foundation. A brisk 20-minute walk after dinner, climbing stairs instead of taking the elevator, or light resistance training a few times a week can transform your stamina. I've had men in their 70s who couldn't jog half a block regain morning erections just by staying active for 30 minutes a day. That's how powerful circulation training is. Now, let's talk about weight. Excess belly fat is more than a cosmetic problem. It's a hormonal trap. Fat tissue, especially around your abdomen, converts testosterone into estrogen. The more fat you carry, the less testosterone your body keeps. Over time, this imbalance quietly erodes your sex drive, your muscle tone, and your ability to recover after orgasm. I've seen men lose just 10 or 15 pounds and experience a dramatic boost in erection strength and recovery time. Because when you drop the fat, your testosterone rises, your blood flow improves, and your energy returns. Nutrition plays a massive role too. The foods that support nitric oxide, your body's natural erection molecule, are your best allies: spinach, beets, pomegranate, dark chocolate, salmon, olive oil, and nuts. These foods keep your arteries smooth and flexible, ensuring every part of your body gets the blood it needs. On the other hand, processed foods, sugars, and fried oils do the opposite. They stiffen vessels, increase inflammation, and make recovery slower. And finally, the forgotten pillar: sleep. Most of your testosterone is produced while you're in deep sleep, especially between 2 and 6 a.m. If you're sleeping 5 hours a night, you're robbing your body of its natural hormone production. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted rest, and you'll notice a visible difference in energy, mood, and sexual performance. Your body is the foundation of your masculinity. When you take care of it, everything else, confidence, desire, recovery, starts to fall back into place. But even if your body is healthy, there's one hidden factor that can undo all of it in seconds. It's invisible, powerful, and it starts in your mind. And that's exactly where we're heading next. Sixth mistake number 5, ignoring the mind and environment. When most men think about their sexual performance, they think of blood flow, hormones, and physical strength. But after 30 years of treating men, I can tell you this: the mind is often the quiet force that either powers your erection or destroys it. I've seen men with perfect testosterone levels and clean arteries who still couldn't perform a second time, not because their bodies failed them, but because their minds did. The brain and the body are deeply connected. If your thoughts are tense, your blood vessels are too. If your mind is filled with stress, doubt, or distraction, your erection has no chance. I remember one of my patients, a retired firefighter in his early 60s. Physically, he was in great shape, worked out regularly, ate clean, slept well. But he told me that after the first round, he couldn't recover, and it made him feel embarrassed. When I asked him about his state of mind during intimacy, his answer said it all. He confessed that most of the time, he was in his head, worrying if he'd disappoint his wife, anxious about whether he'd get hard again. That worry created stress, and stress releases cortisol, the very hormone that shuts down testosterone production. His body was capable, but his thoughts were standing in the way. When you're younger, arousal is almost automatic. But as you age, it becomes more emotional, more psychological. It depends on how relaxed, safe, and connected you feel. If you've been with your partner for many years, the excitement can fade not because love is gone, but because novelty is. Your brain craves stimulation, not just physical, but emotional. A new setting, a different tone of touch, even anticipation can awaken that spark again. Sometimes, performance returns not from physical exercises, but from reigniting the flame of curiosity and intimacy. Here's what I tell men. Stop chasing the goal of performing twice and start focusing on connection. Let go of the pressure. Talk with your partner about what feels good, what excites you both, what you've missed. Desire grows in the space of honesty. When you stop seeing sex as a test and start treating it as an experience, your mind relaxes and your body follows. The nervous system works like a switch. Calmness opens blood flow, anxiety shuts it off. And remember, your environment matters too. Privacy, comfort, and freedom from interruption allow your body to stay in a responsive state. Dim the lights, play soft music, slow down. Make intimacy feel new again. These small shifts quiet the mind and reactivate the chemistry of desire. I've watched men rediscover their youth not through pills or devices, but through presence, being fully there, both physically and emotionally. That's when passion returns, and recovery follows naturally. But once your mindset and environment are aligned, the next step is understanding how to rebuild your body's ability to bounce back quickly. Because yes, you can train your recovery, just like a muscle. And in the next part, I'll show you exactly how that works. 7. The science of faster recovery. One of the most inspiring things I've learned as a urologist is that the male body, no matter the age, is capable of remarkable recovery when given the right signals. I've seen men in their late 70s regain the kind of stamina they thought belonged only to their youth. But the truth is, your body is still listening. It just needs new instructions. Recovery isn't luck or genetics. It's a system. And when you understand that system, you can retrain it to bounce back faster, stay firmer longer, and perform again with confidence. Think of your recovery time, the refractory period, as a muscle that can be conditioned. When you exercise that muscle correctly, it responds. The first step is reprogramming the pelvic floor. Those muscles that control urination and ejaculation are the same ones that control blood flow during an erection. I teach men to do short, focused contractions, what most know as Kegel exercises. Tighten the muscles you'd use to stop urine midstream, hold for 3 seconds, then release. Repeat this for a few minutes a day. At first it might feel small, but over time, the strength you build there transforms your control and recovery. Your erection becomes more responsive, and your body resets faster after orgasm. Next, focus on circulation. You can't recover without oxygen-rich blood fueling the repair process. That's why consistent movement is so important. A short daily walk, stretching your legs, or light yoga keeps your arteries elastic and responsive. Every time you get your heart pumping, you're also sending oxygen and nutrients to your sexual tissues. It's not about working out for vanity. It's about maintaining the plumbing that keeps you virile. Nutrition plays its part too. Zinc and magnesium are critical for testosterone production, while omega-3 fatty acids keep your arteries clean and flexible. Think of your diet as daily maintenance for performance. Add foods that support nitric oxide, like beets, leafy greens, and pomegranates. Those are your natural Viagra. And stay hydrated. Dehydration is one of the most overlooked causes of slow recovery because it makes your blood thicker and your heart work harder to circulate it. Hormonal balance also matters more than most men realize. Chronic stress, lack of sleep, and inactivity all lower testosterone. Sunlight, laughter, physical activity, and rest restore it. When your hormones are aligned, your refractory time naturally shortens. You feel lighter, stronger, and more alive. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, what if I've already tried everything and it still takes forever to recover? That's when we look at medical support. Under proper supervision, medications like sildenafil can temporarily reduce recovery time from 10 minutes to as little as 2. But remember, pills treat the symptom, not the system. You still need to train the foundation. Your body is a remarkably adaptable machine. Every healthy habit you build sends it a message. Stay young, stay ready. And once you start seeing those changes, stronger erections, faster recovery, you begin to feel something even more powerful than desire, confidence. And that confidence leads to the most important lesson of all, the one I want every man to hear before we finish. Because it's not about how many rounds you can go, it's about something deeper, something every man deserves to understand. 8. Emotional core. You are not broken. I want to speak to you man-to-man for a moment, because if you've been struggling to stay hard for that second round, I know how heavy that can feel. The frustration, the silence afterward, the way you lie there staring at the ceiling, wondering if this is just how it's going to be from now on. I've seen that look in my patients' eyes too many times to count, the mixture of embarrassment and loss. And I always tell them the same thing: you are not broken. You are not less of a man because your body needs a little more time or a little more care. What you're experiencing isn't failure, it's biology, and biology can be guided, retrained, and restored. When I first started treating men's health, I thought most of the work would be about testosterone, blood flow, and anatomy. But over time, I realized something deeper. What most men truly need isn't just physical repair, it's emotional permission. Permission to stop blaming themselves. Permission to talk openly about what's happening. Permission to feel human again. Because once that shame lifts, healing starts faster than any medication can deliver. I've sat across from men who hadn't touched their wives in months, sometimes years, because they were afraid of disappointing them. And I've watched those same men break into tears when they finally understood that nothing was wrong with them. They simply needed to rebuild their rhythm, to work with their body instead of against it. When they did, everything changed. Their confidence came back, their laughter returned, and their relationships grew stronger than before. Gentlemen, your worth has never been measured by how many rounds you can go in a night. It's measured by the connection you bring, the energy you give, and the presence you offer your partner. Sexual vitality is about intimacy, not performance. And when you learn to enjoy the moment instead of fearing the outcome, your body naturally responds with strength. So tonight, I want you to let go of that pressure. Don't chase the second round as proof of your masculinity. Instead, focus on the first one. Make it last, make it meaningful, make it real. Because when your body feels safe, relaxed, and confident, recovery happens faster. It's not a trick, it's how your nervous system works. You are not defined by your challenges. You are defined by how you rise from them. And once you start rebuilding your foundation, mind, body, and heart, you'll discover that the same drive, the same vitality that lived in you decades ago, is still there waiting. You just have to wake it up again. But understanding your worth is only half the journey. The real transformation happens when you take what you've learned and put it into daily action, when you challenge yourself to change. And that's exactly what I want to leave you with next. A 2-week challenge that can completely reset your body's performance and confidence. 9. The 2-week challenge. Rebuild your recovery and confidence. Now that you understand how your body works and what's been holding you back, it's time to take action. I've given this same plan to hundreds of my patients, and the results have been nothing short of incredible. Men who once needed an hour or more to recover between rounds started bouncing back in 15 minutes or less. But what really amazed them wasn't just the physical change, it was how much more confident, alive, and connected they felt. And you can do the same in just 2 weeks. Here's how it works. For the next 14 days, you're going to commit to small, consistent changes. No pills, no gimmicks, just natural science. Each morning, start your day with deep, steady breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale through your mouth for 6. Do this for 2 minutes. This one habit reboots your oxygen flow and lowers cortisol, setting the stage for better blood circulation all day. Second, move your body daily. I don't care if it's a brisk walk, light push-ups, or stretching, just move. Your body's blood vessels thrive on movement. When you exercise, you release nitric oxide, which helps blood flow easily to every part of your body, including where it matters most. Third, fuel your system right. Add foods that increase blood flow: beets, spinach, pomegranate, salmon, and dark chocolate. Cut out heavy, greasy meals at night and avoid alcohol before intimacy. You're training your body to prioritize performance, not digestion. Fourth, work on your control. Practice gentle perineal pressure or edging techniques during solo sessions. These methods teach your body to slow down, hold energy, and reduce the hormonal crash after climax. Within days, you'll feel stronger and more in control of your arousal. And finally, focus on your mindset. Stop seeing your body as the enemy. Every time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't," replace it with, "I'm training." Confidence is built through repetition, and so is recovery. If you stick to this challenge for 2 weeks, just 14 days, you'll start noticing changes not just in your performance, but in your overall vitality. You'll wake up feeling lighter, clearer, more confident. You'll sense the difference in your energy and your presence with your partner. Gentlemen, you've spent decades building careers, families, and lives. Now it's time to rebuild something for yourself: your confidence, your connection, your vitality. You're not chasing youth, you're reclaiming control. Stay with me, because in the conclusion, I'm going to show you how to keep these results for life, how to turn this 2-week challenge into a permanent transformation that restores your strength, your passion, and your freedom as a man. 10. Conclusion: reclaiming your strength, confidence, and freedom. If you've made it this far, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something important. You've already done more than most men ever will. You've faced a problem that millions silently struggle with, and instead of giving up or hiding from it, you chose to learn, to understand, and to take control. That alone tells me you still have the strength that once defined you. The truth is, your body isn't failing you. It's asking for attention, for care, for partnership. And once you start listening, everything changes. We've covered a lot together. You now know that the inability to get hard for a second round isn't weakness, it's biology. You understand that your refractory period, that quiet window after climax, isn't permanent. It can be trained, shortened, and improved through awareness, discipline, and smart habits. You've learned that it's not about chasing performance, but mastering control. Extending the first round, fueling your body properly, breathing deeply, and staying connected emotionally. All of it matters. You've seen how simple lifestyle shifts, quitting smoking, eating cleaner, sleeping better, can do more for your erections than any magic pill ever could. But perhaps most importantly, you've been reminded that masculinity is not measured in the number of rounds you can go. It's measured in your resilience, your willingness to grow, and your ability to show up fully, confidently, and lovingly. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rebuild their vitality, not because they turned back time, but because they stopped fighting their bodies and started working with them. They learned that sexual strength doesn't disappear with age, it simply requires new fuel. I want you to imagine this for a moment. A night where you feel relaxed, not pressured. You touch your partner, and your body responds easily, naturally. You don't worry about what comes next, because you know you can trust yourself again. That confidence, that quiet certainty, that's what true recovery feels like. And it's waiting for you, not months from now, but right now, if you start making these changes today. So here's my challenge to you as we close. Tonight, focus on one small shift. Maybe it's breathing deeper after intimacy. Maybe it's eating lighter at dinner or taking a short walk. Maybe it's turning off the TV an hour earlier and giving yourself the rest your body deserves. Each choice builds momentum. Each habit brings you closer to the man you want to be. You have decades of wisdom, experience, and strength behind you. Don't let biology write your story. Reclaim it. Because the truth is, age doesn't take away your vitality. Neglect does. And the moment you decide to care again, to invest in yourself, you'll realize that the spark never left. It was just waiting for you to light it again. Gentlemen, stay strong, stay hopeful, and never forget, your best years of intimacy are not behind you. They're waiting ahead, ready for you to claim them. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, and I'll see you in the next lesson.